Hi chefs, today we're making a shepherd's pie, of course vegan. And this recipe is unique because it's actually the most Googled recipe in the world, and then it's veganized. So it's popular throughout the world in many different forms. And today I have all of my ingredients here that are all mise en place, which means all put in its place. So here I do have some of our paniseg mixed with water. If you don't have paniseg, that's fine. You could use flaxseed. Then I have our carrots and onions diced. Then the mushrooms. And here I have some minced garlic. And then remember, check the other video below because here I have our walnut meat that also has the cauliflower. Now I did make this a day ahead because it mentions in the recipe, it really infuses the flavor extra wonderfully if you make it ahead. Here I have our tomato paste, the oatmeal, and then our lamb seasoning. You can choose to use lamb or beef seasoning, but I like the lamb because it gives it a really rich flavor. Here I have both of our vegetable stock as well as some wine. Then here I have our green peas. It is optional, but I really like to add that to this recipe. It gets some extra color, texture, and there's a little bit of sweetness in there. I have my boiled potatoes. And here I have my vegan margarine, which has been infused with rosemary as well as some of the thyme. And last but not least, we have our vegan Parmesan that'll go on top. Now chefs, we're going to assemble our shepherd's pie. And I'm going to be making the classic shepherd's pie that doesn't have a pie crust. But we have included that because Jessica's short crust pastry recipe is so incredible. And if you'd like to serve it, make it a heartier meal, you can absolutely put the crust in there. We're going to be making it without that today. So check the video below if you'd like that. But I do have my pan here. I have, this is a nice one that's going to be able to go into the oven. And so I just have our creation of the walnut meat, which is of course mixed in with all of our veggies and our peas. So I just have it in two so you can see it easier. And I'm just going to putting this down and creating a flat layer in the bottom here. This is something that's nice. You can bring it straight to the table and serve out of it. So it's less cleanup, which is nice. So I'm just creating a flat layer there. And now I have my potatoes that have been mashed. So these are boiled. I just mashed them with a fork. You can use a ricer, you can use a potato masher, whatever you like. It's your call. And now I have infused my vegan butter, my margarine, like I mentioned, with the rosemary and some thyme. I'm gonna mix that all up. And then now to this, I want to add our vegan egg. Remember, you can use either flaxseed or you can use the prepared paniseg with the water that I'm using today. And this is going to help create a setting agent for our mash. It's going to, because we do want to cut this and have it set up. Right now, if you think about it, mashed potatoes by themselves with some butter don't really stand up. So this is a binding agent that we're using. Now to this, you definitely want to make sure you test for salt and pepper. I know that there's a lot of pepper in here, so I'm just going to be putting a little bit of salt in here into my mash. I know, don't be afraid of salting. Yeah, that's a big mistake a lot of students make, is that they're afraid of salting. You also want to include your vegan Parmesan. And this is going to create the top layer onto our shepherd's pie. So now you just want to tip this out. And then spread this evenly over your pie. You can use a fork or a knife or anything. We want to fluff it up a little bit with the fork. What that's going to do is it's going to create more surface area and brown our shepherd's pie a little more. So I'm going to flatten it with my spatula and then fluff it with the fork. All right, so it's all flat now. I'm going to come back with my fork. And I'm just using the tines, or the points of my fork, to gently create more texture and surface area and a little bit of a pattern. And now it's time to pop it in the oven. Now we finished. It's time to take it out of the oven. Look at that gorgeous browning on top. Let that cool, and then we can slice that up.